Hi, my beautiful souls, my beautiful bright stars. This is Ruby, and you're listening to the Ruby Garnet Show. So please check out yesterday's episode if you were looking for a tarot reading. We focused on the Empress card and Seven of Swords with a unique interpretation of it all. So this episode is, it could be all kinds of different things. It could be like a deep dive, it could be mythology, it could be a narrative, philosophy, all kinds of different things. And I made 2 attempts already at this. I'm not gonna lie. I tried doing a deep dive, I tried doing a mythology thing, and maybe it's just, maybe we actually have to become the Empress, just sit and chill. What will come will become. What is will already have been. So let's kind of focus on the cards themselves. The Empress card is content, abundant. She has everything she could possibly want, need, you name it. She can take that breath, enjoy life. While 7 of cards is just, it can be both good and bad. It could be maybe there's manipulation, there's a con going on, but it could be about strategy. So when someone was really smart in how they became this Empress, or they're always like this, they're always thinking 10 steps ahead, right? And in the episode from yesterday, I kind of brought it from this person is very playful, unique. They don't really feel like they ever really belong anywhere. And my sense of it was we kind of need to allow ourselves to be who we are. We need to rest in who we are and celebrate and be comfortable with who we are. And my personal story is I've really struggled with that myself. I don't really feel like I belong anywhere. A lot of old friends I have, I don't really feel like I connect very well. In order for me to really have any ongoing conversation, I kind of feel like I have to match their vibration, and it's really uncomfortable, and I always come out really frustrated and just disillusioned. I will sometimes end up feeling kind of like what's the point, or I'm never gonna have a deep relationship with someone, right? And the only person in my life right now I have any real interesting, really bonding is my partner. For the most part, he's how people say well, my sweetie pie's my best friend, and I'm yep, that's me all the way. And the reason sometimes it just happens like that. We choose partners that we know that we can be a 70% to 90% compatibility with. And I got lucky. I really did. We tend to vibrate really high together. And when we are at lower frequencies, we're doing it together too. So we tend to match each other really well, because we both want to be higher frequencies naturally. So, I just want, we talk about similar things at different points, and we tend to kind of realign each other, even when the other person's ah! Usually that's me. It's true though. It's he drives me nuts a little bit because he'll remind me of the stuff I talk about with you guys, and when I'm having my moments, and I'm leave me alone, let me be lost here in my low vibration frequency, please. I'm miserable. I want to be miserable forever and ever. And it's no, I really don't. But he kind of like, I mean, we, to the best of our ability, really tried to kind of like snap each other back like rubber bands. Very shocking, by the way. It hurts, a rubber band. But like, it alerts your senses to like, hey, I'm alive. I'm alive. I should be grateful to be alive, man. And Spirit has been really like knocking on my door a lot lately with elephants and coworkers randomly further out, like, just be positive. And I'll think, was that Spirit? Just be positive. I'm like, yep, the fact that they said that twice when I was, like, that's Spirit right there, and I really related to Hera, like the trials that we went in the previous reading. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that's me, Spirit, putting me through the ringer, man. So I feel like I can relate to that a lot, because I mean, like, and I'm trying to I like to, like, as much as I like deep dives, I also do like to get out of deep dives, and this is one of those episodes, like, I've been trying to get out of this deep dive for a while. So I could talk about it, but I don't want to do it. But, yeah, like, I came into paganism when I was, like, 13, but I saw ghosts and things like that, like, stage 2. And then I took a hiatus from it for a period of time where I became very disillusioned when I was in high school, because of one person. I got very easily influenced by my school counselor. It was really traumatic, actually, really traumatic, because she was that person I thought I could trust, and I remember really looking up to her, and because, she seemed to really think of, she said nice things to me, and I looked up to her, and then I told her about my spirituality, and she literally said, like, if you believe in that stuff, you're gonna go to hell. And this was my high school counselor. I was very depressed after that. I was very depressed, demoralized. I always felt like I never belonged anyways, like, since I was a kid. And then just to have that kind of, like, it felt like a confirmation that I was nothing. I was nobody. I don't fit in. And we witches and pagans have to be very careful what we tell other people. We learn that very fast and quick. I got lucky because Spirit protected me for like 3 years with nice people who were very neutral and didn't say anything. Didn't try to break my heart, break my trust. And then when that happened, I thought to myself, like, Goddess, you must not be real. Because, she says so. And I felt very angry, very betrayed. And so I think I wibble wobbled for about, like, maybe 6 years. I never quite fully believed. Not really. I went back to Christianity for a period of time, but again, I felt like a black sheep. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a black sheep. I never say the right things. People kind of look at me funny. I can't connect with people. And then there'll be a couple of people that I would try to bond with, but I didn't feel like I connected with them. I was just trying to fit in. And that was hard, because you have to basically, like, shove your true self in a dark hole and corner, and you have to lock them up and be the prison ward of who you are. And so I think because of that, I end up in a lot of really toxic relationships, a lot. And then I did this really powerful ritual. Oh my God, because I couldn't help myself. And that was like, I started coming back in. Let me kind of backtrack a little bit. I came back into, so when I was 22, I got into Buddhism, which was like the backdoor back into paganism. So like within a year and a half, I was back into being a practicing witch of sorts. But I still like had this weird like, are you real or are you not? And it is not to say I didn't believe, but there was always something in the back of my head, like this doubt. And even today, like I carry it with me. Like that traumatic event really, it hurt. And then I think I was like 26, 27. I did a really powerful ritual, the most powerful I've ever done. I don't regret it, but it created a lot of chaos for me because literally I basically opened the door for the gods to basically help me. And the result was total chaos. I was basically forced to grow up a little bit, but also to those toxic relationships like got forced out of my life. I had to do a lot of reevaluation. So I lost a relationship. I lost even a housing situation that was connected to a relationship that was toxic, a toxic friend. And I lost another toxic friend who had kids, and she was just using me for money and my car. And I basically dropped out for my LMHC track. And so I was like, I had to go into this place of rediscovery where I had to ask, who am I? What do I want to do next with my life? And that led me eventually to getting what I actually wanted. Some of it, which was I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have a partner that would be a good dad. And I have a son now. And my partner is a wonderful dad. I think in that spell work I asked for a house though. So I'm pretty sure that spell is still going on to this day. It's just that it rears its head up every now and then and it creates chaos. Because when we go into the circle and we cast our spells, we can't always have control over how they manifest and how they work their magic in our lives. But that's not the story for today. It's talking about like the implications, the negative impact that one woman's words had. And fast forward today, like sometimes like I have to remind myself in so many different ways, going like, yeah, this stuff is real. Like you can't allow that one woman to like still impact you today. Like I know like she hurt you, she betrayed your trust, but she's not here right now. Are you going to give her that much power? And there's a part of me that kind of wants to be like, well, like what am I supposed to do, right? She hurt me, and there's a couple other people like hurt me, and this, I am very tempted to give up my power and to bemoan my fate and grieve. But I don't want to be powerless. That's not the witch's creed, is to give up your power. I do not think the witch's creed is to give your power up. I do not believe that. Nope. Shouldn't be in my creed book, at least. Oh my God, which drives me nuts, because then I'm like, well, there you go. There's your answer, right? You can't give her your power up. You can't hold on to that pain anymore. You can't be like, you can't, like, just because someone didn't believe in what you believe in doesn't mean that their opinion, their beliefs have more say in your life than yours do. Like, what's more important ultimately? Like, I have to ask myself, like, what's more important? Okay. Well, what's more important for me is living the life I choose, the life I prefer. Okay, well, what is the life that I choose and I prefer? Let's take a deep breath for it, because it's honesty time, right? Because when we ask ourselves, we actually have to be honest. Well, divine source, I really would prefer to work a remote job, live at home, work at home, have the time and the luxury to write my book with the focus, I like the idea of my son being a little bit more at home. I don't mind him being, having a sitter or having daycare available, but, for me, I think it's really important, he can be, if I choose for him to be home more, he can have that, especially if he's sick, that I have the autonomy, the ability to take care of him when I want to, not having to worry about my work obligations. I want flexibility in my job. So you basically tell me you want to have a different work situation. You want flexibility. You prefer working from home. Yeah, actually you would. I would like to have my son home more often too. I want to spend more quality time with him, but also to have more quality time with my partner. That is really important to me. Oh, okay. So it sounds like there's some things you really want. You think that should go into your next spellcraft? Probably. There's a lot of voices we may have from our past, a lot, that are influencing the choices we make today. It gets to be a certain point, though. We have to be the phoenix. We have to rise away from those ashes. Let those things be ashes. Let them burn at the hearth. Come to center and know who you are a little bit better. I am a people pleaser, so I really like the idea of being, I like to consider how other people think or feel. I want to make sure that they feel okay, they feel happy. And so sometimes I'm talking to my coworkers, I'm like, I like you a lot, and I want you to be happy. How can I make you happy? In this moment, when we're thinking about the Empress card, and we're thinking about the fox as the Seven of Swords, it's not about what makes other people happy. It's about, what makes me happy. Me, the weirdo. Me, the one that wants to be myself. Right? I like the idea of these podcast episodes I'm doing with you guys. I want to have the ability to eventually make better quality podcast episodes, to be at home and to be able to focus on this and to write down my notes and do my study, my work. That to me is really important. It's so important to do this stuff because I'm a witch. I'm a witch. So, as much as it bothers me to hurt other people's feelings, how much it bothers me to not belong, to be an outcast, ultimately, at the end of the day, I like my day job, but eventually I want to transform into the Phoenix and to be a full-time podcaster and be a tarot reader, be a personal transformationalist reader, and to write my book and to do my poetry and write my articles. I would love that. I want to do that. That is preferable to me. Those are the things that will make me happy. And that's the thing is I go to work and it's really hard to keep a high frequency, but when I'm driving to work and I'm making these podcasts, the frequency that it just raises up. It's extremely incredible how it just raises. And that tells me a lot. That tells me that I'm doing what I want to do. And when you're doing something you want to do, your frequency will naturally rise up. All right, so I'm going to cut this short. I wish you well. Please check out down below for anything, potential services you might be interested in. But I got to skedaddle because I'm home and I got so much other stuff I got to do. I would love to continue this, but real life, guys. But if you like what you hear, like, comment, share, but also I don't know. There's all kinds of different ways. I don't know. Did I set it up yet? I set up my PayPal account. If you, I don't know if I got a new recent donation link set up yet. Maybe I did. Feel free to check down and see if it is set up. I've been just trying to just get my stuff together. Like for the stuff bit by bit. So I don't know. I don't remember anything anymore. So I wish you well. May I meet. Blessed to be. I'm Magick. Good health. Adios.